everybody, welcome back to the Fumble Live. We are so glad that you tuned in today. We have Fan or Foe coming up at the end of the show today, and that's where we address all of your best comments, clapbacks, and insults, I guess, that you want to throw at us. We're talking to you about them. We're also getting into some news about Dame and how he feels about the Trailblazers' future, and we're also talking about Alvin Kamara and his money mindset, which I actually think is a really, really good one. Before we do, subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. We are the two Fumble babes in black today, and I love it. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
Happy Friday, you guys. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @JRayTheFanatic. And soon, Devin and I are going to do a TikTok challenge. I've been saying we need to do it. We need to make it happen, man.
But which one are we going to do? Are we going to do that workout challenge where we do the ab workout with the band and we do the push-ups? Remember who did that last week?
Yeah. I remember when I threw that out there, but I'm going to snatch it back. I don't want any parts of that challenge. We'll think of another one. Maybe you guys in the chat, let us know what kind of challenge we should do, but not the band workout one. That just looked too painful.
Way too painful. I went to my first workout class in a very long time the other day, and I thought that I was doing a good job with my at-home workouts, but damn, I am so weak. Like, I have no upper body strength, no arm strength whatsoever. So doing any sort of push-up, anything is hard, even on just hard ground, but especially with a band, I would not be able to do it. So maybe the fitness challenges are not going to be the best for us, but let us know what TikTok challenge you would like to see us do. And then Jackie, really quickly, before we dive into the news, what do you have coming up for the weekend? Anything special?
You know me, I'm going to apartment shopping, and then some of the people that I follow on YouTube for natural hairstyles, they've released some new stuff. So I'll probably have a new hairstyle on Monday. We'll see.
Oh, I love how often you change up your hair, Jackie. It's like you come in each week with something new, and I've said this before on the show so many times. I don't have the ability to make my hair look anything other. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to braid. I can't do anything. So this is all you're ever going to get from me unless I have a professional hairstylist working with me. You know,
it always looks okay. Good. That's all that matters. It always looks good.
Thanks, Jackie. I appreciate it. Well, it sounds like you're going to have a good weekend. I am too. I have a friend in town, so going to see her for a little bit and maybe go to the mall. I have to return a bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have bought. I do this. I go and buy a bunch of stuff, and then I need to return it. But that's a story for a different day. Let's get into the news right now. Let's talk about Dame Lillard. So the Blazers currently hold the 6th place in the Western Conference, and it's a solid record that should be able to get them into the postseason, but Dame is pretty realistic about the team's future, and honestly, I think it feels a little bleak what he said. So he said, quote, "When we play against top-level teams, we don't play well. We get put away. At Phoenix, we got put away. Tonight, we got put away. At Denver, we got put away. Milwaukee at home, we got put away. Clippers got put away." I mean, you know, it's not like a small sample size. So he's acknowledging that when the Trailblazers go up against these teams that are sitting, you know, at the top of each conference, and when they are kind of going up against the top talent in the league, even though Dame is on fire and, you know, the Blazers themselves do look pretty good, they just don't have what it takes to really go at it with the kind of like intensity and ferocity that they need to secure the win. Luckily for the Trailblazers, for the next 5 games, they're not facing any of these top tier teams, and it could be a great time for them to kind of get everything together, hone in on their skills, figure out what they need to do to really be like a fierce competitor. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Dame is sitting there and acknowledging that they just don't really have what it takes when they're going up against the Milwaukees or the Clippers. So we have talked in the past about how Dame is always wanting to stay loyal to Portland. He doesn't want to leave. He even called it kind of weird in the past. So I'm wondering if, you know, knowing this, if he's kind of rethinking that loyalty, if maybe he might open up his options or his mind to potentially moving to a different team. So Dame obviously recognizes that there's a problem with the Trailblazers, but what can they really do to fix it? Jackie, do you have any idea?
Um, well, they need a. I don't know. That's a good question. Because I love Dame together with CJ. I love that because I've seen, Dame's always going to go off on the fourth quarter. If he has a rough night, that's fine, you get it, but he always shows up in the fourth quarter. But I have seen times where he struggled, in the first half, and CJ has really stepped up, and that duo right there is great, and I love that duo. But I think we've seen that you need at least a three. You need a solid three, and I don't know that they have that. Robert Covington is good, but I don't know if Norman Powell is great as well. But I don't think that they have that solid third guy. I think everything falls on Damian and CJ's shoulder, and they really kind of just lift each other up. So I think two things. Number one, they need to figure out, because it doesn't sound like Dame understands that they don't have what it takes to beat a top tier team. But it doesn't seem like he knows what they need to do to beat a top tier team. And to be fair, he's a player. He's not the coach. The coaches and the front office get paid a lot of money to watch these games and watch tapes to know who they need. So I definitely, I don't know. I would have to really kind of dive in and think that. But I will say this, Dame saying this just a week, maybe 2 weeks after saying that he's not open to leaving makes him look foolish. And y'all know I love Damian Lillard, so me saying that is probably a little weird, but you don't say on one end, no, this is my squad, this is who I'm going to rock with, and then come out a week later and say, yeah, but we really can't beat anybody that's good. That makes you look silly. It makes you look like you're content to not ever win a chip, and you cannot be that way. Nobody wants to hear that from you. So I would respect him if he said, hey, we need a different center. And I get you don't want to say something like that because you don't want to throw your teammates under the bus. So maybe say something a little different, like, oh, we would be great if we had, whoever. But you look a little foolish with this narrative right now, because what are you really saying? You're saying that you're willing to stay with a team that you don't think can win. And that's odd to me. So I don't know if something they can be coached up in. I do think they need a solid third, though. And I know you guys might disagree with me, but I just don't feel like they have a solid third right now. So if Dame has an idea who that is and you don't want to say it publicly, I rock with that. But say it privately. Talk to your head coach. Talk to that front office and say, hey, do you think we can call so-and-so? Do you think we can make this happen? Because there's a lot of viable players out there that you could pick up and make moves. But you need to do that. You can't just say you don't think you can win against strong teams. Because if you go out there and, like you said, they do have an easier schedule now. So let's go out there and let's level up. Let's win all these games. And then what? You're going to meet another good team. It's like the Lakers play the Nets tomorrow. I'm not watching that game because I know what that's going to look like. I know we don't have the talent on that team right now to beat the Nets. So if I know that, if the Lakers as they stand right now, if I didn't know that LeBron and AD were coming back, then I have to start having conversations about who I think we need to be able to compete with the Nets. But you can't just have a period at the end of that sentence and say right now we can't compete and leave it at that. You need to start trading some people. I see Jeremiah said they need to either trade Dame or CJ. Absolutely not. You can't trade the most solid two guys on the team. That doesn't make sense. You look at CJ and Dame and you say these are our guys going forward. Everybody else is expendable. But it starts with those two guys.
I was thinking the same thing. Having Dame come out with this kind of quote where he is, honestly, he doesn't even seem to feel remotely confident in his team to be able to go up against anyone that's good. And, it is kind of an interesting juxtaposition for him, just a week ago to say that, oh yeah, I don't do any of that weird-ish, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. But yeah, are you really going to just stay with a team that's never going to get you where you want to go? Is winning a championship not a priority? Because I think for any NBA athlete, no matter how good you are, that is the priority. That is the goal. So it's a little weird. It's a little interesting. And you touched on this a little bit, Jackie, but so would you say that the biggest problem with the Trailblazers is just the lack of support for Dame and CJ, or do you think that there could be something else going on behind the scenes?
No, I definitely, like I said, you need that solid third. You need that guy that now he's on the billboards with you. You need a solid third, and I just don't feel like they have that. And I don't know if that's something that they can coach up. They need to go out and find that solid third. But, sometimes, and this was my biggest, when I was on the island, this was my biggest thought process about coming back. And I wonder if Dame is suffering from the same thing. Because on the island, I was a very big fish in a teeny tiny pond. And it made you feel great. There wasn't anywhere I could go where I didn't get special treatment. Everyone in the whole island, which is only 50,000 people, so it's not saying a lot, but everywhere I went, people knew me. I got half price on stuff. It was just like you were walking around like this icon because you were a big fish in a small pond. And then coming back here, you knew that you're a tiny fish in an ocean, so it was that kind of, so I wonder if Dame just realizes he is the big fish in that small pond, and if there's a side of him that doesn't want to give that up. Because are you going to have, let's say you have, and this is just me talking out loud, but let's say you had Dame, Kyrie, and I don't know, AD, something like that on the same team. Yeah, you're still dope. You're still Dame, but you're not as big because now you've got to share the wealth a little bit. And CJ is very much his support system. So again, I think you do get a solid, but you need another superstar on that team, period. You need another guy that can do just as much as Dame does. And then maybe is Dame ready for that? I'm not saying that Dame is that kind of egomaniac because in my heart of hearts, I don't believe he is. But it's still very weird to me how the timing of these comments is very weird to me. But yes, they need another solid third. I don't have an idea right now who I think that solid third would be. So if you guys have an idea in the chat, because I don't even know who contractually could make that move right now, unless they did a trade. So. But yeah, everybody else on that team is open to be traded, in my opinion, and they need to make that happen.
Do you think it's possible that Dame has sort of come to the realization that staying loyal to the Trailblazers is maybe not in his best interest? Is it possible that he could be entertaining the idea of moving somewhere else now that he's had the revelation that they're just not good enough to compete against the top level teams?
I hope he's had that realization because this comment certainly signifies that he's had that realization, because I don't think you say that out loud if the light bulb hasn't gone off. And I get it. I feel like he's very happy outside of basketball. I feel like he's very happy where he is, the life he leads, the family he has, probably the relationship that he has with his teammates, the coaches, and things of that nature. I feel like he's very happy there. But I do feel like he's very much a competitor. You don't see people play like Dame plays if they're not a competitor. So I think this statement has indicated that the light bulb has gone off, and maybe he needs to walk that "I'll never leave" statement back, because with his level of talent, there's no way in hell this man should retire from this league without a ring. And I fear that if he stays with the Trailblazers, he will be retiring from this league without a ring. So hopefully he walks it back, and maybe this comment is an indication that maybe he's not ready to walk it back publicly, but internally he's starting to have those conversations with himself.
Yeah, and I hope that he does move somewhere where he could be part of a title contending team, because yeah, someone with Dame's talent definitely deserves to have a championship win under their belt. So I don't know what's going to happen with Dame, but it certainly seems like he's feeling a little bit pessimistic about the team's future, and hopefully that's enough of a motivating factor for something to change. Let's move on to our next Need to Know News update. Let's talk about Alvin. So Alvin Kamara has a $75 million contract to his name, but he doesn't actually spend a dime of it because he has seen so many athletes run through all of their money and end up broke, and he doesn't want that to be him, which I think is so smart, of course. So he joined, he was part of an interview for Kneading Dough, which is an uninterrupted series. And he says that he hasn't spent a single penny of his NFL contract money, and he just lives off of his endorsement deals. He said, quote, "I always knew the value of $1. As a kid, I saw my mom work multiple jobs only to be able to afford the bare essentials. I'm like, okay, this is more than I've ever had. My mom ain't never had this much. It would be a shame if I got this and lost it. So I'm going to keep doing the same thing I've been doing, spending on what I need, and that's it. I'm not about to go over the top. I'm not going to live beyond my means." That being said, he is also very selective about the brands and companies that he partners with, because he doesn't ever want to do just a one-off endorsement deal. He wants it to be like a collaboration, a long-term partnership, which, and brands and companies that he sees a future working with, which I also think is really smart, because that not only makes him a more reliable brand ambassador, but it also means he's going to be continuing to earn money in future months. It's not just going to be like, okay, we'll pay you $100,000 or whatever for 2 Instagram posts and that's it. So I think that he's really smart. I love seeing how, you know, money-minded he is. I think that a lot of athletes need to pay attention to his mindset and take a few notes, because we certainly have seen lots of these guys, especially the younger guys, go out and just blow their money on, you know, we've talked about it, chains, cars, you know, boats, whatever it is. And then if they get injured or if they don't have the successful career they're planning for, suddenly they're left with nothing. But Jackie, do you believe Alvin when he says he truly hasn't spent a single penny of his NFL contract?
I absolutely believe him. And Alvin is that guy. He's very level-headed. He's very smart with understanding and looking around and understanding the environment. That's my guy. Y'all know that is my guy. And what he made, even his signing bonus was like $970,000. The normal people could live on that for a few years. The reason why these athletes can't live on that for a few years is because they're doing too much. And we've seen far too many times you find out somebody is now living with their mama, you know, 5-6 years after retiring from the NFL because they broke. It doesn't make any sense. And considering his contract and all that he's making right now, it's very, very intelligent. Beast mode. Marshawn Lynch did something similar. He only lived on, I think, his first signing bonus for a long time. And then once he got to the end of his career, he had enough money to go buy the block in Oakland to help stop gentrification. So now not only does he have that in his bank account, all the money he saved, now he's got real estate investments, and real estate investment is the key to generational wealth. I keep telling people that. So this is outstanding. And the fact that these are the kind of stories that I really think the NFL needs to blow up, because time and time again, I say one of the things that I really don't like about the NFL is you go get, unfortunately, people that come from nothing. Like he said, his mom had to make a whole lot out of barely nothing. And you see these guys, and usually it's the exact opposite. You give people who have nothing a little bit of something, and they lose their entire mind. And they buy in the block for not only themselves, but their family. And all of a sudden, at the end of their career, they have nothing to show for it. This is the kind of message that the NFL needs to blow up, because young kids need to understand that just because I don't have anything right now doesn't mean that once I get that big contract, I need to lose my mind. I need to keep saving. And yes, I can still, obviously I want to do better. You know, if my mom is living in a rundown apartment, yes, I'm going to move my mom up. We're all going to level up. Me, my mom, my brother, we all going to level up. But that doesn't mean I need to go out and spend my whole contract on a house that I can't afford the mortgage on. That doesn't, you know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. So he's going to have, and his endorsements, I don't know how much he's getting from the endorsements, but the one endorsement I did look up that he's getting, I forget the sponsor, but the one endorsement, it's like $2 million a year. He could live off of that if he wanted to. So from his signing bonus of $970,000 or something, and what he's making from his endorsements, he could stack that and do whatever he wants. He can buy real estate. He can start his own company. He can do what LeBron did and start his own production company if he wanted to. There's a lot that he can do with that money, and that is very smart because he can invest into his future with that. So this is the kind of story that I love to hear. I would love to see the NFL blow up these kinds of stories, because this is a feel-good story. We're going to get to, and what we're not going to do, a story that is the exact opposite. So if you want to kind of combat that and even it out, you have to blow up stories like this and let guys know, hey, the sky is the limit if you budget your money right. You don't have to be one of these stories where people have to go help you now because you're broke. That doesn't have to be your story. So shouts out to my boy Alvin. Love that man.
I know. I love it. And it's something that a lot of athletes do have the power to do, because so many of them are earning a ton of money from their endorsement deals. Yes, maybe not $2 million if they're not quite as popular or quite as good, but I just think that this is the attitude that you need to have. It's like, maybe spend 10% of your NFL contract or less than that. I don't know. With numbers, I'm not that great. So I have to rely on help from like my dad and my friends who work in finance to figure that kind of stuff out for me. But it's just about being mindful about what you spend, how you use your money, and to not go overboard. Because I know for a lot of these guys right now, it seems like that money is endless, but if you have that attitude, it runs out, and it runs out very quickly, and the aftermath is not fun. All right, well, that wraps up Need to Know News. Jackie, take us into the post-up.
Yes, let's get into this Friday post-up. I'm excited about this one because I think I might intentionally, and it's going to be on purpose, I'm going to make some of you guys mad. But look, Kawhi must have heard all the what y'all call shade that we were talking about him not being a leader, because he was like, look, DeAndre Ayton, he's been playing very well. Don't sleep on DeAndre. He's been playing well. But that doesn't change this from happening. He just literally got posterized. Take a look at this video. This is fantastic.
Phoenix team in the second of a back-to-back, a huge two-game. Oh my goodness! What a play by Kawhi!
Okay, so now you guys ready? I'm going to poke the bear because I know you guys are out there. You've been in your feelings this whole entire week. That was an okay dunk. Okay, it was okay. It wasn't all that. And Russell Westbrook's dunk, when he broke that record in Washington, was way better. I'm going to show it to you. It's way, way better. Take a look.
Man. And he wanted all the action afterwards. I mean, look at that. Oof.
Way better.
Oof,
Ooh, yeah, just like he said. Ooh, way better. Way better. I'm just going to poke the bear. Devin, which dunk was better?
I want to do an instant replay and see both of them again. Let's take a look. Let's take one more look, Leo. Put them both up there back to back. Let's get a real solid look.
Gotta be patient. It's coming.
Guess not.
Here we go. It's Kawhi. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
Oh, man. And he wanted all the action afterwards. I mean, look at that. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof,
way better dunk.
Russell takes the thing. Yeah. It's like a 12 out of 10.
Yep.
So much more like ferocity and aggression in that dunk. I loved it.
Yep. I saw y'all in the chat, Jackie, just a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm just saying Russ's dunk was better. That's all I have to say. All right, let's go on to this next one. So you guys remember in 2016 when King James basically came back from, 3-1 deficit and beat the Warriors. The rumor is that Draymond went into the parking lot and was literally crying and called KD and said, you got to come over here. You got to help us. We need you. And that's the room. I've heard that this whole entire time, but KD and Draymond are on a podcast and they apparently set the record straight that did not happen. So let's take a listen.
It was this whole narrative of like, you call Kevin crying from the parking lot. I'm like, yo, this shit can be like, y'all added a theatrical sense to make this shit a movie. Like, you gotta make shit for TV. You gotta add on a little bit. So like people just start pouring on, bro. But I wasn't about to come out and fight it. Like at the end of the day,
it was just
however y'all think Kevin got here. That's what your mind. Roll with that shit. With that's what helps you out.
Go with it. And also, this for OKC fans. They thought me and Dre was hanging out, literally like chilling with each other during the conference finals. And when I heard that shit, I was like, man, who do y'all think I am? Who do you think Draymond would hang out with me during the conference finals, like over my house? Like, come on, stop the bullshit.
Exactly.
Okay, so I would like to point out that while they was joking and kikiing, he did not say that he didn't call him from the parking lot. So I'm not sure if the call came from the locker room. I'm not sure if maybe there were just no tears involved, but that call definitely happened. Neither one of them said exactly how that call went down. So I'm not entirely sure that what happened that day. But I do have another post coming up right now that this user noticed that, and he says he didn't call him from the parking lot crying. He called him from the locker room crying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what happened because you didn't really clear up that rumor. You just said, oh, I didn't feel the need to address it. I would have addressed it. Y'all got me out in the parking lot crying. I'm going to address that. I'm not just going to let that go. But that's just me. But he also talked about the meme that we've seen over and over again of KD or him yelling in KD's ear. And he revealed what he said. We've got a post on that one as well. He talked about that on that same show. And he said, can't nobody F with you. Can't nobody F and stop you. So that's apparently what he said to Kevin Durant in that meme, which is interesting because I also very specifically remember that huddle where they were in an argument and Clay had to sit between KD and Draymond because Draymond told him, we don't need you. We don't need you. We was winning without you. So I don't know what to make of this. Clearly some details was left out. Devin, what do you think? Does this mean that he just wasn't crying, but maybe he did call him from the parking lot? Or was it just a casual phone call of, hey, bro, you want to play with me? A phone call was obviously made.
Right. A phone call was obviously made. I can't imagine Draymond crying. Can you imagine him really sitting there crying on the phone to another man?
No. To another
Yeah.
man, no.
So-
I can see him crying like if something was emotional on outside of basketball, but I can't see him crying about basketball, no.
Yeah, so I don't think he was crying, but I think a call was made, and maybe it was from a parking lot. I guess it doesn't really matter where it was made from. But yeah, Draymond really didn't do quite enough to quiet that narrative or, put an end to that narrative. So I don't know. I don't think he was crying, though. I think that was the big thing. But also, if he wasn't crying, he probably would have wanted to clear that up because you know how men are with crying. They don't like to ever admit to it that they do it. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this.
Yeah, I don't either. But I thought if it was me, I would have been real quick. When it happened, it wouldn't be 2021 when I'm addressing y'all telling people that I'm crying in the car. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm going to address that right when it happens. So, okay, Draymond, I love you, so I'm not going to harp on it too much because I love me some Draymond Green. So let's go on to this next one because I got to tell you guys, I am so confused and I need your help because I remember in 2019 when it was Mayor Bob Rogers and the county judge or whatever gave Ja Morant the keys to the city and they declared August 23rd Ja Morant Day. I specifically remember that. And I thought I was tripping, but like I always tell y'all, Google is my friend. So I went and I Googled it and it was right. It happened in August. It was August 23rd. But apparently yesterday was Ja Morant Day. So he let us all know. He said today is Ja Morant Day back home in South Carolina. So I guess South Carolina has a Ja Morant Day. And then maybe Memphis has a Ja Morant Day. But anyway, happy Ja Morant Day yesterday. I clearly missed it because I didn't know. I just didn't know. But he got all kinds of love. People were very happy that he wished us all and reminded us all that it was Ja Morant Day. So I love the love that he got back. This guy says, 12 back, can you hear me? That's my favorite thing about Ja Morant. I swear to God. I love this picture because this is one of my favorite pictures of him also. And then we have another user showing some love as well. She said, in honor of Ja Morant Day, I'm going to dunk on someone on Twitter because I can't actually jump. I really love that. I'm going to have to start doing that. I'm going to have to start dunking on people on Twitter. And then just all kinds of love. Somebody said, thanks for putting on, I think 808, 803. Thank you for putting on the 803, which is, South Carolina. So he got lots of love. So happy Ja Morant Day, y'all. Sorry I missed it yesterday. Yesterday was also CD Lamb's birthday. So happy Ja Morant Day. Happy birthday, CD Lamb. I got to figure out what's what on that. But let's move on to this next one because I think it's time that we all take a deep breath and we understand Kyle Kuzma. His fashion is it's an acquired taste. You're probably not going to like it right off the bat. It's odd, but I did figure it out. So, his girlfriend, Winnie Harlow, she's a supermodel. And we always see, like, if you ever watch those runways and things like that, supermodels wear really, really weird stuff. And maybe that is what is happening. Maybe he's just trying to make it a trend. Maybe he's trying to make odd things a trend. But anyway, he's not getting away with it. The commentators are calling him out on his weird fashion sense. Take a look.
Here.
Does he play for Miami Heat? Is that a Heat?
He might not be playing, but he's easy to find on the bench. Let's put it that way. He's rocking the Heat colors, man. He's looking very Miami tonight.
Oh.
It's a good look. See, Kuzma can pull that off.
Oh, yeah, he could pull it off. I
No
still,
problem.
got to get a little used to it. I'm sure when he saw it, he said, oh, okay.
I would hate to be clowned all on the sideline for my wardrobe. But again, he has to know it's coming. Devin, what did you think about Kyle Kuzma's outfit?
Okay, this one I don't think deserved quite as much dragging. I mean, they did say he looks good, he could pull it off, but out of all the outfits Kyle Kuzma has worn, this one's actually okay. Like, I'm not as mad about this one as I was about, like, the pink suit and the other weird things that he wore. The one thing that has got to go is that blonde ramen noodle hair. I'm just not down for it, Kuz. It didn't work out the first time. Why'd you do it again? I don't understand. He does look very Miami, though. He looks like he's an 80s Miami guy, so maybe not the best choice to wear that outfit.
All right, I am adding that into my arsenal. If you don't get your ramen noodle hair looking self out of my face, that's going to be my new my new slang. Thank you, Devin. That was fantastic. Poor Kyle Kuzma. I'm sorry, Kyle, that you just getting all the shade, because you're right. That one wasn't that bad, but I mean, dang. Mighty Warrior Machiavelli Cobb K said, NBA dressers are zesty. I love it. That's hilarious. That's see? Zesty ramen noodle hair. That's what happened. But let's move on to this next one, because this one is actually great. I have an opinion on it. I'm going to give you a mini what we're not going to do on this one, but the WNBA dropped their new jerseys, and when I tell you, we've talked a lot of shade about the jerseys, you know, the different kind of jerseys a lot of NBA teams get, and we don't necessarily like them, but these are all good. Take a look at this tweet. I know you can't see all of the jerseys in it because it's small, but this is the first look at all 12 WNBA teams will wear new Nike design uniforms for the 25th anniversary season. That's crazy that the WNBA has been around that long, but player numbers will return to the front. I don't know if I like that, because, you know, you like to see them on the back sometime, but that's great. Player numbers will return to the front. I like that too. Each team will have 3 jersey editions: the Explorer, which is the team colors; the Rebel, which is the female empowerment storytelling. I like that. And the last one is the Heroine, which is the home white. All of these jerseys are dope, okay? But I'm not going to go through every single team. I'm just going to get to the ones that I like, because this is the Phoenix jersey, the Phoenix Mercury. This one, obviously, they said it's inspired by the Desert Sunrise, and it's an ode to their nickname, which is the X Factor. I love this jersey. This is one of my favorites. That's why this one is first. And then the next one is from the Seattle Storm. This one kind of gives me that old nostalgia feel of the Seattle Supersonics. I don't know if that's what they were really going for, but this one I like. And of course, last but not least is the squad that I love personally so much. And this is the LA Sparks. I love this because that black and gold one looks like our black and gold one for the Lakers. And of course, they got the palm tree and the purple, again, kind of the ode to the Lakers. I love these jerseys. If you get a moment, go and check them all out. They are all fantastic. But again, so when I looked at this, and right before the show, this tweet came out early in the morning. And if this had come out on like a Bleacher Report, or anybody had tweeted a new jersey for the NBA, by right now we would have had thousands upon thousands of views and hits and comments on it. But this, at that Showtime today, I haven't checked it as of late, but as of Showtime today, this thing only had, I think, something like 980 views or something like that, which again leads me back to what I originally said and what Draymond was saying. You got to get more attention on what you're doing. These jerseys are fire. They are so good. And only 900 and something people were talking about it 3 hours after the post had been created. You've got to go out there and create your own stories. Each and every person on every star on every team needs to have a jersey on. They need to have it on their social media, their Instagram stories, TikTok, all that. You guys need to do more to be seen. But that's my little 2 cents. Devin, what do you think about the jerseys? And do you think I'm right? Do you think they need to get more attention on it?
Sorry, I was struggling to unmute there. Yes, I do think they deserve more attention, but I don't necessarily know how to achieve that. I thought the jerseys were really cool. I really liked the, I think it was the Mystics one that said Rise on the front. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that one. Obviously, the LA jerseys I thought were really cool. And then the Phoenix one that you liked as well is the first one that caught my eye. So I think they did a good job with the design. I think that the empowering messages behind each one, you know, I think it's nice, but I also think it's a little bit annoying that like the WNBA teams have to have these like empowering messages as part of their jerseys. You know, it's like, right. I don't know, like, so that I kind of am like, I could do without that. It's cool. The message is great. I have no problem with it, but it wasn't necessary. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But they definitely have they have this moment where they need to just really kind of build up, build up their social media presence. This should be a bigger deal. But let's move on to this next one, because Lamar Jackson is out here telling the absolute 100% truth, and I appreciate him for it. So let me just show you the tweet that he posted. It said, "To all young boys, it's okay if you never caught a body. It's okay if you never had a bag from hustling in the streets and you work a job. It's okay if you rather play sports than do drugs. It's okay, dog, I promise. It might look cool, but it ain't worth it. If you can live life without having to worry about cops or the feds, you winning. Don't let nobody tell you different." 100% agree with that. And again, this is unfortunate that this needs to be said, which is exactly what this Twitter user said. She was like, the fact that this has to be said is sad in itself. And it really, really is. It's a really shame that this had to be said in the first place, but it is. And a lot of it is environment. A lot of this happens when you're coming from impoverished neighborhoods. You know, there's several different studies that show the more impoverished, the less money people make, the higher the crime rate. The more they don't have to worry about their housing and their food and things like that, the less crime is. So it's unfortunate that this happens, but I am so proud of Lamar Jackson for taking time to say that. It's very, very important to say. I know it's sad that it needed to be said, but I'm glad that he said it, and I would inspire him to remind people whenever he feels like that's necessary to say. So well done for him. But let's go on to this next one. And let's get into this JuJu Smith one, because this one is another one of those confusing things, because we know that JuJu Smith, he just re-upped his contract on a 1-year deal with Pittsburgh. But before he signed that deal, Baltimore Ravens was trying to get at him. Kansas City Chiefs were trying to get at him. But Andy Reid just kind of went to the next level with trying to recruit your boy. This says right here, it says, Andy Reid was just calling me and he was sending me Lombardi trophy pictures like constantly. I don't know if I would... Me seeing that Lombardi trophy, knowing that I've never actually seen the Lombardi trophy because I won it, that might have persuaded me to sign with another team. But he has his reasons for staying. He made a pretty long quote about it, and he said, he posted this was on the NFL, and he said, being somewhere in an atmosphere and an environment, knowing you are where the team knows you, they know your history, they know how you are and how to use you, stuff like that. Yo, I'm going to take my chance and I'm going to play with Ben. So I feel like Big Ben is going to end up crying on the sideline, on the bench, like he was last season with Pouncey, and telling him, I'm really sorry I couldn't get you this ring. I think we're going to see Big Ben crying again, but now he's going to be crying to JuJu because now he knows JuJu is staying because he wants to take his chance with Ben. Devin, we've talked about this a lot. Is this a situation where you stay loyal? If Andy Reid sends you a Lombardi trophy to try to recruit you to Kansas City, do you go to Kansas City?
For me, it's going to take more than pictures of a trophy, but I mean... Oh, God, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. To me, that wouldn't be a motivating factor enough. I think that you got to go to the team that you're going to have the best chance of winning. And I don't know. For me, I don't understand why athletes are always wanting to maintain that loyalty. I think you got to go where you're going to have the most success. And so that's how I feel about it.
I don't know. That Lombardi trophy. No, might have got me with that one, especially since you got it and then you went back. You didn't win, but obviously you got further than my team did. And Big Ben is getting older. I don't know, but shouts out to JuJu. I really hope the Steelers succeed this season, not over my Saints, but good luck. But let's go on to this next one, because I didn't get to travel nowhere this year, obviously, because of this pandemic. But let me tell you something, as long as there's no travel bans, this is my next travel destination, because I love me some Super Mario Brothers, and this is insane. This is in Japan, so take a look.
I'm going to show you how to spend your day at Super Nintendo World. Located in Universal Studios Japan here in Osaka. The first thing that you're going to need are these power-up bands. They're used to interact with all the blocks that are scattered throughout the park, so you can collect coins and points and you can keep up with your stats on the app. There's also different stations where you can scan your band and you can check your stats from there too. Next, head to Bowser's Castle so you can experience Mario Kart in AR. After that, head out to the 1-Up Factory. Load up on souvenirs you can only get here. Once you're dressed up, go meet up with your favorite characters. They're all over the park. You can't miss them. Head to Kinopio's Cafe for a bite to eat. Here's some recommended menu items that we got. Here's the teriyaki chicken and superstar rice, the super mushroom pizza bowl, Mario's bacon cheeseburger, the superstar lemon squash, and the superstar hot yuzu lemonade. Oh yeah, and the mushroom soup. Finish it off with a block of tiramisu. Next, head out to Yoshi's Adventure. This is a super chill ride that allows you to be able to enjoy.
Man, I'm definitely going there. That just looks up. First of all, I probably get stuck on one little, especially if it has a sound effects where you punch it and it goes meow, 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 meow. I'd just be that person that people like, move, because I'd be jumping and hanging out there for a long while. I was very, very excited to see that. But that's all I've got for the post up. Let's get into what we're not going to do. Before I jump into this, I see you guys in the chat, and what I'm not going to do is not say the same thing you guys are saying. Rest in peace, DMX. That one hurts. That is one of my favorite rappers, and I know if you don't know him, a lot of his music, you know him from Deadpool, because that's kind of the theme song for Deadpool. So yes, rest in peace, DMX. That one was really sad, but let's jump into this one because this one's also very, very sad. I hate to end this on a sad note, but that seems like what we're doing. But if you haven't heard this sad news, so Phillip Adams, he's a former NFL cornerback. He played 6 seasons, 6 different teams. So he was kind of a journeyman. And unfortunately, he has been identified as the gunman who killed 5 people in South Carolina before he left and went home and turned the gun on himself. And then he ended up killing himself. This happened in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Now, during his career, he suffered multiple injuries, including a concussion. His father, who is Alonzo Adams, said that there's never been a time in his life where his son has been violent. That's never happened before. And so this is confusing to everyone how this level of violence happened and how it escalated so quickly. But his father did make a point that a lot of people are really kind of taking to heart. And he says that he feels that football messed his son up. I think we've talked about all of this a lot, but Phillip Adams, he went to the home of Dr. Robert Leslie, and don't know why he went there, but when he got there, there were 2 air conditioning techs that were working outside. He shot both of them, and then he ended up killing one of them, and then he went into the house, and then he killed the doctor. He killed Dr. Robert Leslie. He killed his wife, and he killed 2 of their grandchildren. One was age 5, the other one was age 9. And then he went home and he again turned the gun on himself. This is tragic because, of course, because we know he played football, and again, because of what his father said, now the questions are around, did this really happen because of the NFL? So one of the news outlets that I watched, they contacted a gentleman by the name of a doctor by the name of Dr. Haley Zabel. And he's the director of the New York Institute of Technology Center of Sports Medicine. So obviously he knows what he's talking about, but they asked him specifically about this situation. And they kind of let him know about the injuries. And I believe he only had 2 concussions throughout his career. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that, but I believe it was only 2. But the doctor addressed that. He said he could have been taking hits the entire time and only wound up with 1 or 2 concussions, but that's not the accumulation of the hits. He said he's taken a lot of hits, and those hits could have developed the brain disorder known as chronic traumatic encephalopathy. He said it really affects people to an enormous degree in their ability to enjoy relationships and friendships and to really function in the world. They get very frustrated, understandably, with the deficits that they are having, and sometimes that frustration and that confusion and your inability to really understand things result in violence. So here's the thing. Again, this is one of those situations that CTE cannot be diagnosed until you die, and that is terrible. I really feel like that's step 1, figuring out a way to diagnose this while you're alive. So once you can diagnose it while you're alive, you can start getting people treatment. But this is a situation that we're starting to see over and over again. Usually it is some kind of suicide or something like that. But in this situation, this is a man taking his own life, the life of 2 children, and a husband and wife. It's 5 people now that are and the AC guy. This is crazy. The number of people who had to suffer because we don't fully understand how the brain works when it starts to develop this kind of disorder. And we need to do better with that. What we'll end up seeing, I haven't seen it yet, but what we'll end up seeing at some point is we'll see the NFL probably issue a statement saying, their hearts and prayers are with the family or something like that. It's not going to be anything that says we understand that this is a problem. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you that as far as parents that are enrolling their kids in Pop Warner to play football, those numbers are down 20% nationwide. So when you see situations like these, I feel like those enrollments are going to take another ding. This is a father now that's probably thinking to himself, damn, what if I hadn't encouraged my kid to play football? Would his life be different now? Would he still be with us? Would he still be alive? And these are questions that parents who have kids who want to play football are going to be asking themselves before they enroll their kids. So the NFL needs to really figure out a way. Not only they need to be on the forefront of CTE, they need to be on the forefront and every quarter release something on how they're trying to figure out on how to diagnose this while you're still alive, what kind of treatments they're going to offer to players once they retire. They need to get on the forefront of this if they don't want to slowly dwindle away, because at some point your numbers are just going to get too low. It's just a fact. Your numbers are going to get too low. So I love this tweet from this young lady, and she's betting her money that this is a CTE situation, but she does have kind of a forward-thinking idea. I don't know if I agree with it, but at least it's an idea. She says, I've got 20 that says Phillip Adams will end up being diagnosed with CTE. I got 100 on it. And then she says, unpopular opinion warning, as we obviously not reforming gun laws, a system like Medicare for all could help curb gun violence by expanding access to primarily mental health care. That's an idea. Again, I don't know how I feel about it because I haven't really had time to dive into it. But like she said at the bottom of that, do something. We have to do something. If we can always trace back mental health issues, even if it's not a football player, if we can continually trace back mental health issues to a lot of this gun violence, and if we know that these mental health issues exist with people who suffer from CTE, and what last time I checked, it says something like 99% of football players, once they die, have been diagnosed with CTE. 99% once they die and they test their brains, they have CTE. This is insane. You know it exists. Do something. And I don't know what it is, but I'm also not an NFL executive. You need to figure out a way to do something to address this problem, because this cannot keep happening, because not only are these lives taken senselessly, and these are young kids that'll never get to grow up and fulfill their destiny, your brand is now tarnished, and you're going to continue to see your numbers dwindle if you don't address the elephant in the room, which is CTE. So what we're not going to do is say nothing, NFL. You have to say something. You have to do something. So that's all I got with what we not going to do on this Friday.
All right.
It's fan or foe?
Fan or foe time! Okay, so Jackie, I know you didn't want to end on a kind of sad and tragic note, and I have to admit the story that you just shared was very tragic, but I think we're going to lighten things up right now by getting into some of these comments from Fan or Foe Friday. So, Leo, let's get that first one up there. All right, that fan is an idiot. How many games has Curry played and won without Durant? So, I think this is Rob Parker, not a fan. But yeah, I mean, I agree with that one. I feel like we can move on.
Yep.
Yeah. Leo, let's get the next one up there. Doug says CP3 did the same thing with OKC last year. Dude has such a good presence on young teams. Jackie and I think, can definitely agree with that one. Just seeing what he's been able to do this season and what he's done in the past, he definitely really takes on that veteran leader role, and I think that's awesome. So he's found kind of his groove and his place, and it works. Let's get the next one up there. Jeremiah!
Can we give him a nickname? Can we give Jeremiah a nickname? I would like to give him a nickname. Call him Stay Mad. That's his new nickname. Stay Mad.
Jeremiah Stay mad, Smith. He is always mad. Let's see if he's mad in this comment, though. If Chris Paul is your leader, oh yeah, he's mad. If Chris Paul is your leader, don't expect to win a championship. Unlike Curry, who won 3 championships, Jackie, chill out about Steph. He a way better leader than CP3. Okay, Jackie, this one's directed towards you, so I'm gonna let you respond.
No, he is not. And you know when you know people are not a good leader is when they get in the huddle with all their intensity and the veins popping out of their arm because and people are just looking at him like, oh, look at little Steph, he's so cute. No, that's not a leader. So I appreciate that you're mad, but you see how I'm laughing? That's the same way people was laughing at Steph when he was mad in the huddle that day. That's the same way.
It's like, oh, he's really mad.
Mad. He's just mad.
And for the record, we love Steph. Like, we think he's great. He's just not that leader guy. Okay, so Mighty Warrior Machiavelli Kobke says, hit the thumbs up on this channel, y'all. Salute the fumble. Okay, definitely in contention for fan of the week. I'm just putting it out there right now. Thanks so much, Mighty Warrior. It's been a while since we've seen you in here, and I'm glad you're back. So let's get into the next one, Leo. New Taurus One says, all she does is hype up LeBron. Again, Jackie, this is directed towards you, obviously.
I said enough? You need anything else?
Okay, Adam Hecker says, you guys have to do a TikTok dance and yell more. I like that there's a request for us to yell more. Down to try a TikTok dance. I'm a horrible dancer. Jackie will definitely beat me in that one, but yeah, sure, I'm down.
I'm down too. We just said we needed a challenge, so I'm down.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll yell. You want us to yell? We can do that. Okay, Kevin says, actually, the best thing for Jimmy to do is ball out this year and open a new opportunity next year. So this is about Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not mad about this. If he is able to ball out this year and then find something better or that suits him better next year, then sure, I'm okay with that. Jackie, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's his best option, to do what he needs to do. But don't do what you need to do and feel like, okay, they believe in me now and I'm going to stay. No, they've already proven that they're ready to move on from you. So you need to be ready to move on from them, but just prove your worth first. But yeah, I agree with Kevin on this one.
Go out with a bang. All right, JD says, Karl Anthony Towns needs a joke in his life. Even his girlfriend Jordan Woods commented the nervous face 3 times. That's so true. I wanted to actually point that out when we were talking about it, but I forgot. Jordan Woods wasn't writing some like mushy gushy sentimental thing. She did the grimace emoji. So clearly she, is able to poke a little fun at it too. So everybody that was so up in arms about that, y'all can relax because it was not a big deal. Moving on. Next one. Trey Royal says, how can I get on the show? Okay, here's a quick and easy way. Run really, really fast and record it from the side. And if it's very impressive, we probably will talk about it.
Very true. Do something impressive. Tag us on Instagram. Tag Devin Howard or Jerry the Fanatic. And even if you fall, please tag us in it because then it's still going to be something we can giggle at. Or if you're super fast, tag us in it. We're down to put you on the show.
We're down. We always love a fail, a wipeout. So we're down for that. Okay, it's our guy Stay Mad. He said, Jackie, what platform is your podcast on?
Oh, okay. Good question. So if you want to hear it today at 4:00, you can hear it on Backstage. And then so it comes on at 4:00 Pacific Standard Time. I don't know where you are, Jeremiah, but at Pacific Standard Time, it comes on at 4:00 today. And then you can hear it on Saturday morning on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, everywhere you listen to your podcast. So if you can't find Backstage tonight, then in the morning, just look it up on wherever and it'll be there.
Oh, check it out, you guys. Okay, let's get into the next one. Fierce Soul 85, and this is why most of us don't deal with our own sisters. I F with Jackie, though. So Jackie, again, directed towards you. Take it away.
This is the one. Now, see, this is what he posted when we were talking about that clown, Hubert Davis, for saying, "Oh, I'm black and I'm proud to have a white wife." Unnecessary comment. So this is what he's saying. He says, and this is why most of us don't deal. So this is an epic fail on your part. Fierce Soul 85, and I hope you're here. I pray that you're here, because basically what you're saying is my telling you how wrong this man was, and me being vocal is why you, as a black man, I see your icon, I see you. You as a black man, me being outspoken like that is why you don't mess with sisters. But somehow I'm an exception to that rule. No, I'm not an exception to that rule. I am a black woman who has a voice. And I'm going to tell y'all the same way. If y'all listen to my podcast, the same thing I said on there. White women don't have to have the kind of voice that black women have, because they haven't gone through the things that we've gone through. They haven't endured the things that we've endured. So when a black woman is vocal about some of the pains and stripes and things that they've gone through, don't label that black woman angry. Shut up and listen and see how you can move forward and be better. Don't say that as a black man, you are not dealing with black women because you look stupid. And I'm done with this user.
Yeah. Fierce Soul 85. I have nothing to add to Jackie, except for I will say you do look stupid. Don't say something like that. It's embarrassing. Okay, Jeremiah Smith, again, he's always commenting. We are, maybe he should be in contention for fan of the week simply because he is so active. He says, Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler are best friends. Son, don't trust him. So, I'm not sure. Should we move on?
Yeah, because I don't understand this. Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler? Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on. I don't know.
Okay, this is like the Jackie segment today. Choppa Boytonio likes your hair, Jackie. I have to agree. Looks very cute. Okay, Gary Turbo says, hope Paul got a prenup.
Which
Paul?
Are we talking about?
I'm not entirely sure.
Or is it about Paul?
Paul Pierce. Yes, it is about Paul Pierce. Hopefully he did get a prenup too. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully she got a prenup. I don't know. Okay, Tommy says,
maybe there was a stripper clause in there. So either way, you owe me something. Got all these strippers in there. Put a stripper clause in your prenup. That's.
I'll keep that in mind, Jackie. Okay, Tommy says, how is it possible to have 1.57 million subscribers and only 70 live viewers? Now, Tommy, I would like to take a moment to address this, because all we're doing here is creating content for YouTube. We don't have the algorithm memorized. We don't know what works and what doesn't work, or why this is even happening. But I do want to say that if you look at our videos after they've gone live, they get more views than 70. We have a lot of people tuning in. One of my videos from a couple weeks ago has 800,000 views on it. So it's just a matter of what attracts the people to click. And we can't expect everybody to be available at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to tune in live on our show. So that's how I would answer it, Tommy. But honestly, you don't have to be a hater. Just chill out. It's not that big of a deal. Okay.
Jeremiah did clarify his statement on the Brandon Marshall. He's saying that Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler are best friends. I didn't know that.
Me either.
Hey, Matthew, Goo Goo Gaga, whatever. Watch this. Here's something for you. Watch this. You ready? Boom. You've been blocked, sir.
Oh, I didn't even see what was happening.
Yeah, he out here being stupid. So we just gonna have to remove him. There you go. Let's move on.
That's it, Jackie. That was the last fan or foe moment there. So I think that we should give our fan of the week to, actually, I'll let you choose, because you got a lot of compliments and a lot of direct interaction. So Jackie, who do you want to make our fan of the week?
You know what? I love all the comments, but I'm definitely going to have to give it to Jeremiah Smith, because he is probably the most active person in our chat. He wants this fan of the week. I think he deserves the fan of the week because of how much he's active. So congratulations, Jeremiah Smith. You are going to be this week's fan of the week. Your nickname is still Stay Mad, though. But yay. That's still your nickname, though.
Great job, Jeremiah. I think this is the second week in a row that you were actually named fan of the week. So keep it up. keep it up, but be nice to us. You don't always have to be so like angry and mean towards us. It's, you know, it's not that serious. It's just a live show. Anyway, you guys, let's wrap it up. We are going straight into the weekend now. Check out Weekend Zone tomorrow morning, and don't forget to tune in on Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to catch us live again. So we have more than 70 live viewers. Subscribe, tap the bell, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends, give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys later. Have an amazing weekend, everybody.